Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of Mornings with the Outlaw. I am the Outlaw, John Rocha, joined as always by the lovely lady over there from St. Louis, Alex Shashek. How are you?
I am pretty awesome. I'm a little tired. I woke up in a hurry this morning, but you know, it's all good. I'm excited to be chatting with you guys. I'm excited to talk about some of these. Just a little something happened over the weekend with, DC. So I was like, I'm excited to dive into that just a wee bit. It's been a hectic few days.
Yeah,
how
absolutely.
You?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm recovered from what happened Friday night, which you can't talk about yet. Yeah. I don't think. But good times. Had a really nice time over the weekend. Mm-hmm. We're kind of exploring a possible change in our lives, and so we had a really nice time going out of town this weekend, exploring some things and looking at some things and deciding if we want to take a next step in a certain direction. And so that was nice. And back at it. And for those of you wondering why I'm wearing a dress shirt, it's because I had a morning audition for a host situation for an insurance company. So hopefully I book it. If not, it's still good to kind of work out those old bones of hosting things and seeing what else is out there for me to do. So, but I'm excited to talk about all this stuff here, Alex. We got a lot going on. We had a little bit of a Star Wars news that broke just this morning, and we'll get to it in just a second. I just want to say hello to all of you all who are joining us live. You know, we always appreciate it when you take the time to hang out with us and have a conversation or listen to us talk about all the entertainment news and chime in yourselves with your Streamlabs and your Super Chats. And don't forget about that. This show, this entire channel, this network lives on the support that you all give to this channel. So when you send in your Streamlabs, when you send in your Super Chats, you're saying that you really enjoy the programming we got here and that you want to support it. So you can do it that way. For those of you who may be a little tight on the cash, the other way you can do it is to hit a like on this, hit that thumbs up button and share it on your social media as well. And to subscribe to the channel down below. That would be great as well. All right. Well, let's see what else we got going on here today. Is that everything? And then we got all these people. We got all these people lined up looking at us live. I'm going to turn on the Streamlabs now to make sure I can get all your comments through here, because I know Tushka is going to send $1 comments all through this. Andrew G might send a couple of $1 comments all through this, and I appreciate them all. Yeah, if we're lucky, exactly. And a shout out to Richard Leacha, Coach Combs, TMC, Infama One, Adam Fry, Maxie, and Clockwork Boy One for all subscribing to the Outlaw Nation channel. So I appreciate you all coming aboard. All right, Alex, let's get into this thing. You ready?
Oh my gosh, so ready. Oh,
all right, let's jump into it. The first story we got today is a Star Wars story. This broke as we were kind of waking up this morning and seeing what was happening in the world. Kathleen Kennedy apparently gave an interview to The Wrap, and she said that the Lucasfilm team is keen to, quote, step back and really absorb what George Lucas has created. She said in the interview, that's what we've been doing, and we've been having a great deal of fun doing it and meeting with lots of different filmmakers and talent. She said that fans can expect to watch more in-depth small screen endeavors from the franchise before you hear about all these films that are supposedly in the works coming out. We had a Taika Waititi film that was announced. Kevin Feige was producing a Star Wars film. There were there were trilogies that were supposedly being done by the guys by Benioff and Weiss over there at Game of Thrones. Of course, they've left for Star Wars since, but certainly there was a lot of conversation, Alex. She also goes on to say the ability to be very character-driven with extended storytelling and connected storytelling. I think this space offers us a great opportunity to do that. She said there's so many fans out there and so many filmmakers that have been influenced by Star Wars for so long that it's a fantastic opportunity to get a sense of who wants to be a part of this. This is an interesting thing to think about, and maybe they're pulling back because of the responses to The Rise of Skywalker. The responses, maybe there were some issues with merchandise sales. All this kind of stuff maybe was affected by how people were receiving these films. She said stories have been told within this universe over the last 40-odd years, and there's now the realization that this is a mythology that actually spans about 25,000 years when you really start to look at all the different stories that have been told, whether it's in books and games. You didn't know this mythology stretch over 25,000 years? I don't know. I don't want to go into the bashing of Kathleen Kennedy here. Certainly she doesn't deserve it. She made $6 billion since she's taken over for this franchise. But Alex, you hear these comments, you hear these thoughts, you hear this idea that they want to, quote, step back. What is your reaction to all of this?
This is vague AF. What does this mean? I don't know. It's just funky. We can talk about night and day about all these amazing personalities that have been attached to these projects. Taika Waititi, I was like, give me anything by Taika Waititi, but especially some from this world coming off hot off of The Mandalorian. I loved his episode. I loved his character. I was like, give me more. And a lot of these other directors as well. Obviously, Star Wars in general is no stranger to drama. And, Kathleen Kennedy has had a lot of flack in particular. But at the end of the day, someone I know I know I am very confident in is that my favorite Star Wars movie of all time is Spaceballs. So, give all the money to Mel Brooks. That's someone that you can, at the end of the day, be very confident in as, a director producer of someone, within the Star Wars world.
He is 90. What are you talking about?
I stand by what I said.
You can't give Mel Brooks a Star Wars.
I stand by it.
But this is an interesting thing, too. I mean, I'm talking about stepping back. This is a little bit about PR. This is a little bit about saving face. This is a little about saying to the fans, hey, we're going to take a brand new look at this and maybe reassess where we belong on this, what we've been doing, what we want to do going forward. So I respect that from a PR point of view, and I respect it from a brand saving point of view. And yes, you could say, oh, they made $6 billion, but certainly it also spurred this kind of division within the fandom, this toxicity that people have indulged themselves with when they've been talking about Star Wars. Certainly starting the Star Wars show with Laura Kelly that we did, The Jedi Way, one of the things that we really are trying to avoid is wading into the toxicity. We want to talk about the philosophy. We want to talk about concepts, theories, characters. We can debate certain things, but our point of view is not one to like wade into the toxicity of all this kind of stuff. So you see those reactions here, and maybe this is their way of saying, you know what? We're going to look at where we're going to go in the next direction. And remember, Kathleen Kennedy's contract is up next year. Her extension is up next year. So maybe this is their way of saying, hey, we took a step back. We took a look at everything. And Kathleen Kennedy realized, hey, I don't want to go in this direction with Star Wars. I'm going to step away. So maybe this is the long game they're playing of trying to save face so that when Kathleen Kennedy leaves, it's not because she was kicked out. It was because they went in a new direction and she felt she wasn't the right executive to steer the ship because of the direction they were going in. So she gracefully stepped down and walked away from the situation. Or they are actually taking a step back. Kathleen Kennedy's actually sitting and reassessing this whole thing. Kathleen Kennedy's actually talking with directors and filmmakers and producers and writers and all of that to create a brand new direction for Star Wars to go in that will be fruitful and reunite the fandom fully. That's a possibility as well. But I kind of lean towards the first thing I presented rather than the second thing. What about you? I have
nothing but immense respect for Kathleen Kennedy. She's one of those women, just people in general within Hollywood. There's so few people that are so successful on that scale. It's crazy. This is a woman that, for a long while, she worked as an assistant to Spielberg for many, many projects. I worked with him one-on-one as a producer, and he taught her, how to work on all these projects and everything firsthand. And if there's anyone to really kind of be in that mentorship role, it's definitely Steven Spielberg, obviously, as far as like helming different franchises on that level. However, when it comes to this world, obviously, Star Wars, you can either love it, you can hate it. There's obviously been an immense amount of controversy, but people are very quick to point fingers at her in particular. So they may be excited about these X, Y, and Z upcoming projects, but she is getting a lot of flack for a lot of the negativity and a lot of the criticism in particular to the recent trilogy. So, like one-offs.
Yeah, I mean, and this is not, I mean, this is the thing that I think is important too, is, fans can clamor and yell and scream and all that on the sidelines, but enough people came to see all these movies to, have her be able to turn and say, hey, I made a profit on all of this. I made money doing all of this for the franchise, for the brand. And that's what an executive is hired to do. Yes, you can say in a utopian world, they're also hired to make great films. They're hired to, yes, sure. If you want to Pollyanna this thing, feel free. But in reality, this is a business. So they want to make good movies because good movies more often than not leads to good box office. But what they want to make more than anything else are movies that make money and doesn't hurt the brand so they can fund more other they can fund other projects that they want to work on. And certainly Mandalorian is one that's kind of blown up. And she talks about the fact that she wants to go into more of these, more character-driven, smaller TV pieces. Those are going to come out. So that's a good shout out to Kenobi, a good shout out to Mandalorian, a good shout out to the Rogue One series that's coming as well. So you got to be happy about that. And maybe that's what they're reassessing. They're taking a step back and looking at how well their TV stuff is doing and going, okay, how do we make that transfer to the screen? And maybe being hamstrung by or chained to the Luke Skywalker thing, maybe now that that's not there anymore and Leia's not there and Solo's not there, none of that stuff, that old stuff is there, they can now go forward in a new direction. Remember, Rian Johnson was supposed to be doing his movie too. So like all of this is now in flux, and maybe she's looking for the right filmmakers to step in and people of color, women, to step in and direct these movies and put a whole new spin on them and appeal to the younger generation as well as the older Star Wars fans. So I hope that's what's happening here.
Yes, I also would love, honestly, I'm very glad that they're actually taking a little bit of a step back, honestly, because we've been slammed with so much Star Wars content so consistently over the past several years. And, we forget that, there was a time where Star Wars, the movies came out like several years apart.
Yeah, 2 years apart. Yes.
And versus now, it's almost like every Christmas. Wham, bam, and to some capacity. And so I'm kind of glad that they're taking a step back. I personally, I prefer quality over quantity. And if you give me an amazing Star Wars movie every 2 years, heck, yes, I'm so much more excited than that rather than more is more.
Right.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. It's just like it's neither here or there. I don't even know what's happening. What is really happening? Nothing is happening. Exactly. Nothing is happening, guys.
Yeah. I mean, nothing. There's not official word from them, of course, what you're talking about there. So that's the thing at the end of the day. It's like, what are we going to see from this for real? What are we going to get from this for real? Come and let us know. And then we'll get an assessment of it and figure out what we do next. And I think that's what we're waiting to hear is like, okay, what's the official decision? If it's the official decision, then let's go forward with that. So I think that's what we're waiting to hear. And hopefully we will get that very, very soon and go forward. But I think this is a great thing for her at this time to do this interview, to kind of talk about where they're at. Because the thing is, all the clamoring is, but Kathleen Kennedy is doing her thing. She's got a vision. She's got certainly a producer who has laid an incredible, who has left an incredible legacy already in the world of film with numerous movies that people like are nostalgic for, are the movies of their childhood, are the movies that they go back and watch over and over again to disappear or escape or have fun, especially during time of COVID, the time people are struggling to pay their bills, what have you. A lot of her movies, I imagine people have turned on and enjoyed and watched that she has been a part of in terms of producing. And there are plenty of people who defend this trilogy. Don't forget that the prequel trilogy was hated for the most part by the original trilogy fans, but the newer people getting into Star Wars, they love and defend that prequel trilogy. So just by the same token, I think there'll be enough people who came around to Star Wars at this time and love this sequel trilogy. So you just never know when you're talking to somebody where their interests lie in Star Wars. So there you go.
Yeah, totally agree. I can't wait to see what the next big step is. I mean, what the next big announcement is.
Right.
And they just got to be careful, like you said about Kathleen Kennedy. I don't want to say her clock is running out because that sounds really weird. But she has very limited, very finite amount of time left within, being a part of the world of Star Wars. And, again, a very controversial figure within the world, and she's created. I don't want to say she's created a divisive fandom. However, people have become incredibly violently divisive surrounding what she's created, and by her as well as her by extension. So.
Yeah, very, very true. And we'll see. I mean, what do you all think? Let us know in the comment, in the Streamlabs and the Super Chats. Let us know what you think about this whole situation. Is this more, a gobbledygook? Is this more PR? Is this more saving face? Or do you actually believe that they're taking a step back? They're actually reassessing the situation. And is there a possibility that George Lucas is asked to come back as an advisor, a technical advisor to the situation. That's certainly a possibility in play. I would not be surprised. A lot of people suggesting some interesting directors, Matthew Vaughn, Zack Snyder. I tell you what, I would love to see a Zack Snyder Rogue One kind of movie. I'd be all about it. But certainly there are plenty of other filmmakers that you can turn to. Matthew Vaughn could be fun for sure. Could be fun, like a heist film. I wonder what Matthew Vaughn's solo film would have looked like. It would have been a lot of fun to see his version of Han Solo. All right, we got 2 Streamlabs that have come through here. Alex J. Scotty for real says, being honest, the fact that Powerpuff Girls is on the CW dashes my hopes. Maybe I'm not the target audience, but I feel it's a missed opportunity. Given the fact that the original audience is well into their 30s, I'd rather see it on a network like FX. We'll address that in our next topic, Jay Scotty, for you. So let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. And John Doe says, for me, I am done with Star Wars. Until they decide to expand the massive universe to something different and away from the same old planets, the same line of 100 years, and everything has to be connected for some reason. That's a fair assessment, John Doe. Certainly a lot of people feel that way. What about you, Alex? Do you want to just completely run away from that whole area of time, and so that we never see any characters that are reminiscent of Skywalker or the Vader or Rey even, or, Kylo, or the prequel or Anakin or anything? Do you want to move as far away from that as possible? Or do you think there's still great stuff to be mined there if it's in the hands of the right filmmaker?
I'm so done with the Skywalker people. I'm just so done. Rey, I'm like, cool, bro, but I'm out,
Right.
Luke, cool, out.
You did your thing, out.
Out. Darth Vader, obviously arguably the most iconic villain in cinematic history. I'm out. The world of Star Wars is so vast and huge and amazing and beautiful, and we want to stick to this itty bitty cool family that's been around for I don't know how many years. Have they been around for 30 years? Have they been around for 30 centuries? I'm not entirely sure. But the thing is, it's been around for a long time, and they've had a lot of movies dedicated to these characters and these character arcs in particular, which, you either love them or you hate them, whatever. Thing is, they've had a lot of them. So I would love to kind of steer away. That's why I love Mandalorian as well. Not only because it's a really great, space Western and all that good stuff, but it's the introduction of all these brand new characters I've never seen before. Now we could also talk about, how it's been involved. There's a lot of different there's a lot of books, comics, and that in video games as well. But I would really love to explore more of that, and more characters that we have never heard of before. Also, when you're getting creative with brand new stories and brand new characters, people have less to complain about in theory.
Yeah.
So,
and you buy yourself more time, Alex, right? Because you can create the mythology of these characters, create the scenarios, create the planets, all that. Just like you did just like you did when the first Star Wars came out. That was all brand new. Luke was brand new. Tatooine was brand new. It was all brand new. So you had time to develop this kind of stuff. I think if you walk away completely, and don't give me great-great-grandfather or or ancestor. I don't want any of that. Move away from it completely. Create and this the new Jedi one that they're working on. That could be interesting as well. If none of that has to do with the Skywalkers or Kenobis or Qui-Gon Jinn or any of that stuff, that would be a good thing as well. So we'll see how that plays out as it goes along. But this idea that her saying, well, we realize there's 25,000 years. That gives me a little bit of pause. And I know the toxic Star Wars fans that hate her are going to grab that line and run with it and say, see, she didn't even know there were thousands and thousands of years or centuries or decades or eras of Star Wars. Of course she knew. She was just saying an assessment. So I think this is and the thing is, the hardcore Star Wars fans, they know that, but the mainstream people who they really rely on to come to these movies over and over again, those people don't know that there are 25,000. They haven't read all the books or comic books or in the video games or anything. So all of that assessment, I think it takes a little bit of time to turn that corner. Maybe Kathleen is turning that corner, or maybe Kathleen's just laying the groundwork for her to be moving away from this situation. Because honestly, who could blame her? The amount of shit she's taken, who could blame her for going, you know what? Nothing I do is enough for y'all. Peace out. I'm out. So we shall see. All right. Let's move it. Was that?
Not kidding.
Right.
That's all.
Let's move on to what Jay Scott and Real brought up. So let's move into some Powerpuff Girls stuff. Alex, what do you got for us?
Okay, sugar, spice, and everything nice, and a little bit of Chemical X coming your way. Just like we had a stream up earlier that kind of mentioned it.
Yes.
Powerpuff Girls is coming to not the big screen, but it's coming to the small screen. It's going to be penned by Diablo Cody. You heard that right. Diablo Cody of Tully, of Jennifer's Body, one of my favorite movies. Love that movie. And Juno, she's fantastic, but she's going to be collaborating with Greg Berlanti. Who's that guy? You might know him as the director of Love, Simon, or as a creator of a lot of CW shows within the Arrowverse as well, or a producer, really. And so she's collaborating with a lot of these people. Now, Powerpuff Girls in particular, they're having a huge resurgence. If you're not familiar with what they are, even better. It's about these three girls. It's an animated show, by the way. It's about these three girls. They're superhero little girls. They're like 8 years old, essentially, and they end up fighting crime because when they're created, essentially, by the scientists, dad, they end up like starting to fight crime, and there's a lot of weird villains. Like there's this like weird like a devil lobster person. There's like a talking monkey that's also a super villain. There's a lot of really weird stuff to dive into, and not to mention it's visually quite beautiful. Yeah, very colorful, very fun, and it's having a huge resurgence. Like I mentioned, is because it was it's been not previewing, but it was bought by Hulu in 2016. So a lot of people are rediscovering it for the very first time, and it's like I kind of personally grew up with it, back in the 90s. But like I said, a lot of us are in situations where we're introducing it to our kids, friends and family and everything, just because it's so, it's almost cult, like a part of like a cult following nowadays. So I'm excited for this to really have the opportunity to really kind of go forward with someone that I really, really like Diablo Cody. Yeah. Now, as a grown man. Yeah. What are you thinking?
Grown ass man, dog.
You're a grown ass man, very different demographic.
True, very true. But I did love the Powerpuff Girls. Like, I'm not a person who jumped into a lot of animated series because they all came into prominence when I had reached a certain age, and I was just like, this seems a little bit like kid stuff. But certainly some ones I enjoyed and would watch. Powerpuff Girls was one of those. I enjoyed the humor in that. I enjoyed the kind of adult humor mixed into some of the child humor as well. Batman the Animated Series I enjoyed. Batman Beyond I enjoyed. Even some of that Aqua Teen Hunger Force stuff I really enjoyed. So there were some series that got Archer, obviously. There were some home movies. This was one of those ones I would turn to because it was a lot of fun, very interesting. And I saw the different versions of it that came out. There were multiple versions of Powerpuff Girls. But this is interesting because this is a live action. You do mention Diablo Cody, as you said, but they're going to make them grow up. They're going to be adult versions of these three pint-sized heroes. They're going to be disillusioned 20-somethings who resent having lost their childhood to crime fighting. So will they reunite again to save the world now that the world needs them more than ever? So this is kind of a smart approach into this thing because it's like, well, yeah, I mean, did they have free will? Did they choose to be these crime fighters, or was this thrust upon them and then their childhood was lost? So how well adjusted can they be? Are they resentful of the fact that this is their only identity when they want to be seen as a human being or as a person, a regular person, all that stuff. So I think it's fantastic. And look, this show certainly has a fan base, lasted for 6 seasons up until 2005. I'm sure Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup will have completely different names. You know what I'm saying? As adults, they have to, Alex. They're going to be 20-something.
How dare you?
Disillusioned. I just got a feeling.
No, no. Maybe as like adults, or have that moment where like, yay, we're adults. We're like living lives, and maybe you're at college or something. I don't know. Yeah, it don't matter. But that's like some small details. Maybe they're trying to not live in the spotlight, and they take on new names. Hypothetically, because they're living lives outside of crime fighting, and therefore, when the world needs them most, they go back to their own names. They take pride in their names. That's now, possible. There's so many things. Okay, right now more than ever, as far as I know, I don't think this is going to be, it's going to be a live action, obviously, but I do think this is going to be taken with a grain of salt. I do think it's going to be funny, sarcastic. We have a bunch of people that, a lot of shows that used to be animated shows that are transferred to live action that have, I feel like, have done it very well. And I think this is going to be no different. And like I mentioned, Diablo Cody, her tone, if you've not seen any of her movies, are very much sluts on. Like I mentioned, when it comes like Jennifer's Body.
Yeah, dude, you like that. Yeah.
Dude, man, do I love Jennifer's Body. Do I love... Oh my gosh, that is a serious political thriller.
Okay, all right.
It's some feminist horror thriller right there. Yeah. But there's a lot you can dive into this. What is their purpose? They were literally created in a lab. I'm not exaggerating. Yeah. It's in the title. Sugar Spice, Everything Nice, and literally Chemical X. Yeah. They also have rivals. I can't remember what they're called, but they're pretty much the boy version. But they were rowdy. They were puppy dog tails and stuff. They were made that way, and they were the rivals to the Powerpuff Girls, obviously. But she's done to put this kind of work in the hands of Diablo Cody is someone that not only someone I really respect, but someone that has such a really cool tone. Give me more right now. I want it now. Can I put money into it? Can I donate to make this happen?
I think they're going to handle it. You just hope that they approve it and get it to pilot. That's a big deal as well. Diablo Cody did a pilot for Raised by Wolves, which is one of my favorite British shows. My girlfriend turning me on to that. And so but it didn't go forward past the pilot. So you hope whatever they work on here, they get it to a pilot stage where it gets approved and then they get a series order. There is the most recent Powerpuff Girls. They got rebooted in 2016. They just wrapped up their third season in June of last year. So that the property is still strong, certainly still attracting viewers, still attracting people who like it. So an older version, though, is this going to be Riverdale? Are we going to get Riverdale like Archie with Riverdale? Yeah.
Now that you just suggested it, it seems like it's possible. No.
I'm just saying. How's the mayor? Is the mayor up on sexual assault charges? Is their dad Professor? Was it Newtonium? What is he going on with him? Is he old now? Is he crotchety? Does he hate the world? All these things. I mean, if they're going to make it a darker, and Diablo Cody certainly has a very sharp wit, as you can tell from if you ever saw Young Adult, Lord God Almighty. So she can play these things a little hard and close to the edge. I wonder how far out they're going to go with these three young ladies who are no longer pint-sized superheroes. I'm just saying. I know you're not 100% happy.
Riverdale.
I'm just saying that's possible if they're going to go this route.
Horrible things. You're going to cry. I love Powerpuff Girls so much, and you have to ruin it for me with the mention of these horrible possibilities. Let me just cover up the tears and just put my glasses back on.
Stop it. Stop it.
That's how I cry. Guys.
I like it.
Like a puppy. No. So the thing is, it's not gonna, obviously it's gonna be a little bit until we see it. This was just released yesterday, and so you guys, I would love to know what you guys think, and also by extension, who's your favorite Powerpuff Girl or character? JoJo? Is it? I don't know. Is it JoJo? It's a professor. Is it the professor? It's a Blossom, Buttercup.
Yeah.
Everyone had a favorite.
That's for sure. That's true. All right, so we'll see. I mean, we'll see how this all comes down. We'll see if there's a trailer. We'll see what they're going to go with. I'm looking forward to it, me personally, and seeing what the new approach to this is. Could be a lot of fun, for sure. All right, let's see if we got any Streamlabs that have rolled through. We do, and we have one super chat. He said it's from Eric Stevenson. Eric, let me see if I can bring it up real quick. I don't know if the chat has gone past it. Here it is. It says, hey, got to head out to get on a Zoom meeting for work. Just wanted to say you guys rock. Also, you're looking sharp in that button down, John. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. One of the rare ones that still fits after my COVID-19 weight gain. So, I'm doing the best I can with this. Let's see. Thank you very much, Eric. Appreciate the support. What was that?
I was just saying I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah, girl, you know. Andrew G donated, of course. Taking a break from the films is a good call. He's talking about Star Wars. Find a new corner of the galaxy in maybe a new time like older High Republic and tell some new stories that are really separate from the Skywalker story. TV stuff, I think, can stay there for a bit longer. Sure. The TV stuff is different because it kind of you don't have the same level of expectation for a TV show that we have for a film. So it's two different approaches for sure. Okay,
but
so
sometimes TV shows are also better than the movies, such as Mandalorian.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no.
If Mandalorian was actually made, like put into like an actual like one massive obnoxiously long movie, or if he just takes some of the standalone episodes and made them like release them in theaters, like that, it was like essentially like that Alien. It was almost like Alien movie where it was like a horror movie in an episode.
Yep.
It's my favorite episode. 100%. If they had like essentially made that like a movie, that would have been my favorite Star Wars movie. Give me a horror movie in space in the Star Wars universe. Can we get an expansion on that?
There we
also,
go.
rom-com in Star Wars. Love me a rom-com. You know what? You're not. I want a rom-com. They're weird. It's funny. I want some aliens in there. Let's get weird, guys. Okay. They're not getting weird. There's so much potential. Why are we limiting ourselves? Make it an anthology.
I like this. Jenna James, laughed my ass off. Speaking of Zoom, Rocha looks like my executive in my Zoom meetings. Jenna James, get back to work for the love of God. We got production that we need to hit. Production numbers we need to hit. Get on it. What are you doing watching a couple of yahoos talking about movies?
How old are you? Jesus, yahoos? Yahoos?
Pardis Jesudasana. I hope I got that right. Pardis says, "Where's our trailer for Mando season 2?" Disney. Yeah, this has been the refrain for the last few days. People are like, "What the hell? Where is this Mando season 2 trailer?" And I love it because Molly Damon came out and she was like, "It's going to come out when it's come out. Let's all relax and just, kind of go on with our lives, and it'll show up when it shows up, and we'll enjoy watching it." So there you go. Yahoo, do you mean a couple of Google or a couple of Bings? Oh, God, Tushka, please don't ever get on stage. Man.
That was funny.
That's a dad joke if I ever heard it.
I loved it.
All right, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to the Powerpuff Girls and stuff. It's fantastic. So I'm down. All right, let's see here where we can go. Oh, yeah, let's do our next story, and that is the story about the Batman. That's right. There are questions and concerns about whether that was Colin Farrell as the Penguin. There is a picture right there, and it has been confirmed officially by the studio and by Colin Farrell himself. That is actually him as the Penguin. He is actually doing that, looking like an angry Richard Kind in that clip there, or in that picture. A sinister Richard Kind is what they were saying. So, anyways, quickly worked out that this was Farrell, who is unrecognizable. It was confirmed today when Mike Marino, the makeup artist in charge of Farrell's look, confirmed that was him on his Instagram. And there were some other details that emerged. It reportedly took almost a year to design the bat suit and the Batmobile for the show, for the movie rather. Let's see what else we got here that was divulged. Glenn Dillon designed the suit, and Robert Pattinson played a big part in its look, which is said to be very practical. An outfit he made himself, and that is still evolving. In addition, his cowl has gashes in it, as he's been wearing it every night for over a year. Reeves also says his Gotham City won't be like Burton's very, very theatrical, beautiful, beautiful sets, or Nolan, parts of Chicago and parts of Pittsburgh, modern city look. Instead, his will use Liverpool's foundation of Gothic architecture and then add all the more modern structures in through CG. They are resuming production for next month to release in October. So there you go. That is absolutely the Penguin, Colin Farrell, with that buck teeth and all of that jazz. What's your feeling on that, Alex?
Wait, he's wearing more prosthetics?
Are you joking right now?
He's wearing prosthetics?
Of course, look at all that. The nose is a prosthetic a little bit. The teeth, it looks a little bit like he's messing with his mouth a little bit. Looks pretty sinister. Pretty pretty sinister there.
I don't know. I think he's still a beautiful man, but it's Colin Farrell.
You would not kiss this guy on the right. You
it's
are
Colin
such a liar.
Farrell. It's Colin Farrell. I would do.
You kiss Colin Farrell on the left. You wouldn't kiss Colin Farrell on the right. Don't lie. Don't you lie to me, for God's sake.
Still an attractive person, I have to say. I don't know. I mean, like,
so you're okay with the look.
Batman villains, I have yet to see a really unattractive Batman villain, especially when it comes to on screen all that much. Let's be honest, guys. But yeah, so obviously there is prosthetics, when it comes to this movie. And also it's so obvious. I remember seeing this and I was like, are they going to cover that with makeup? Are they going to because it looks so clearly like a mask, like a bottom mask kind of situation. And I was like, I kind of wish they just kind of smooth that out or did something, because it was like distracting. I remember seeing when I watched the trailer like 10 times in a row, it was distracting to me personally, but that's just me being me.
You. Okay.
And yes, I do stand by the DeVito penguin, guys. So yeah, I stand by it,
All right.
You
wouldn't kiss that.
He eats fish. I eat fish. We can be a match made in heaven. You never know.
Oh my gosh, wow.
So yeah, who doesn't love cobble pie? So
a little mixed. You sent on the signal.
Yeah, for sure. Why not? I really cannot wait. I'm also really curious. He also said it. I think he wasn't he the one talking, or is that the Riddler in the trailer?
No, it was a Riddler talking. I was Paul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay, gotcha. I was a little confused. I was like, I don't know which one. Obviously, the Riddler's one sending these messages, but it's kind of a interesting feeling that we got from the movie. He's Colin Farrell. I love this like dark turn. He's doing all these really weird roles.
Yeah.
He's taken almost I don't want to say he's a character actor, because in order to be a character actor, you kind of have to be unattractive. If that makes sense. Or no, not so much unattractive. I should say you usually you can't be distractingly attractive. Like you gotta have a unique look. Yeah, exactly. So you not mega like Brad Pitt. He tries all he wants to not be attractive, but sorry, you're still distractingly beautiful. It's hard to be beautiful, man. Same for like Michelle Pfeiffer, distractingly beautiful. So definitely putting on prosthetics and everything in order to kind of take on this role. It's pretty. They went there. They went there.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely. We got over almost 180 y'all watching us live, but only 89 likes. Come on, guys. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button. Get us to 150 likes before we wrap up the show here in the next few minutes. Please give us some love there. Speaking of a possible, and keep sending in your Streamlabs and your Super Chats. Remember what I said there? The network and the channel and this show depends on your contributions and your support of this. And send in what you thought about the Colin Farrell penguin. Send in who's the hottest Batman villain in the galaxy. Let us, or in this universe, let us know there. I mean, obviously,
we all know the answer, but
I think it's Catwoman. That's fair. But who else besides Catwoman who's hotter than Catwoman? I want to make
sure. Rachel Gould.
Ra's al Ghul? You think Ra's al Ghul? You think Liam Neeson?
Boy, are you serious? Is that an actual question right now?
Wow.
It's Liam Neeson. It's the Liam Neesons,
The Neesons. The Neesons. Don't make me run around. Well, there's another person joining the cast. We'll see if Alex thinks he's hot. Barry Keoghan, who is an Irish actor. You've seen him in a million things. He's been in Dunkirk, Killing of a Sacred Deer. He is, and has also been in Spooks, Whitechapel, and The Strain is part of this thing as well. Let me see here. Let me bring up a picture of him real quick. Boom, there he is. There he is in Dunkirk, giving him some love there. He is going to be playing Commissioner James Gordon's first partner, Stanley Merkel. If you all remember Stanley Merkel, he was in Batman Year One. It is not Flash. Flash is the corrupt, blonde-headed guy that he beats up with a baseball bat. The Stanley Merkel is his first partner there in Gotham, so he is going to be part of this as well. I'm sorry, I spoke Spooks, Whitechapel, and Strange star Rupert Penry Jones. He's in the film as well. He's the guy in the trailer that is in the picture when they have the funeral. So apparently he dies for some reason. But either way, Barry Keoghan is part of this thing, and we'll see how he factors into this situation and what role he's going to play in this. Are you a Barry Keoghan fan, Alex? And are you surprised this late in the game we're getting a casting announcement?
I'm not really because characters like him. It could be a flashback. Maybe it's a. Do want everyone to keep in mind. We are so fortunate as fans to get a trailer when we did. The fact that they were able to whip up in a trailer with as little filming as they did, so far, is super impressive, but also tad concerning as well. They've only filmed like 20, maybe 25% of their actual film. And so they only filmed 7 weeks total and out of the 3-month shoot. So not very much at all, but great stuff all nonetheless. Now, this character in particular, I'm really excited just I did see the movie The Killing of the Sacred Deer for the first time. And that movie blew my noggin. And so nice little reunion between him and potentially Colin Farrell, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's a character actor. I do think they kind of mentioned he's going to be the detective that died or is about to die or did die. Right. He's Commissioner Gordon's, Detective Gordon's at this time, previous partner before things start going cray. So I'm kind of curious to see that kind of expansion, because if you're getting cast this late in the game, you probably weren't pivotal to the script. Realistically.
Exactly. And we'll see. I mean, there might be just scenes. Remember, Matt Reeves has pitched this as a trilogy, so maybe Merkel's got more to do as this thing goes along. And if you've seen the animated version of Batman Year One, Merkel is in that as well. So it could be an integral character to the James Gordon story. Here we go. Roberto Arsenal. Okay, so the Suicide Squad finished filming and they didn't give us a proper trailer, but Batman, which only has 25% filmed, was able to pull out a trailer. Yeah, this is why I tell you this. And this is, I've been hearing this all. Sometimes, and this is very true, PR departments like to under-promise and over-deliver. It's a way to get you excited about the project. In no way do I believe they only shot 25% of the movie. They've been on set for almost a month and a half before the COVID situation happened. Second unit has been getting shot. His stuff, Reeves is shooting his stuff. I firmly believe that they had shot 50% of the movie, which is why they were able to have this much in here and do what they did. There is no way that what you saw was 25% of the movie. No way. No way what you saw was 25% of the movie. So to me, that's the thing that I always push back directors do that, because then you go, wow, we got this with 25%. Who knows what the other 75% is going to have? That's exactly what they want your mind to do. With Suicide Squad, I 1,000% believe they've only shot 25%, which is why they were only able to show certain things and do that. They do that behind the scenes thing that they did, that video they released. That's what I think there. So don't be, surprised that studios might lie to you a little bit about these situations. So I think there's no way they only shot 25% of this movie. Oh, am I wrong? So, tell me, were you on set, Todd? Were you on set? Just want to know if you were on set. Just asking.
You're wrong. That's what I say to you. Oh my gosh, you're wrong. So wrong. Rocha, did you know how wrong you were? I know.
Oh
I know.
I totally know. I totally know.
I totally know.
I totally know. I spoke somebody, and they said, right, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, let's run through these Streamlabs before I lose control too much here. Andrew B says, PPG was an incredible series, Powerpuff Girls, and the movie is amazing, but I'm not sure how a live-action series like this would work. They brought the cartoon back a few years ago, and even that wasn't as good as the original run, in my opinion, without Craig McCracken. Yeah, have you seen any of the new run of Powerpuff Girls, Alex?
Why are you just asking me these ridiculous questions? Have I seen? Next thing you know, you could ask me if I've seen the new episodes of Sailor Moon. I mean, what? Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm just offended. Of course I've seen them. Of course I've seen them. Jesus. This is offensive.
I just want to make sure.
I do. I have seen it. I'm really excited.
Do you like them better or less or equal? Do you like the original one better?
Oh, well, the thing is, I appreciate them for very, very different reasons. Yeah. I grew up, I remember being like 10 years old and being obsessed with them, and, being like 8, 9 years old and just loving them to death. And so they're very sentimental to me. I used to have like a Powerpuff Girls backpack when I was very little. So I was like that person.
Yeah.
So it's, I really do. Like when I watch them, I don't like watch them as actively, like the reboot all that much anymore. However, I like still have a great time. I put them on like in the background while I'm just like vacuuming the living room kind of thing.
Right,
you know, it's just like really fun, lighthearted entertainment.
Yep, agreed. Okay. John Doe says Jojo is the evil monkey and Jennifer's Body is a great movie. Good call, Alex. Mojo Jojo, is that in Jennifer's Body?
Jojo.
Is that in Powerpuff Girls?
Powerpuff Girls. Okay, so Mojo Jojo is an experimented monkey gone wrong. Okay, so do you remember that, in the movie 28 Days, like how the anger virus got out because they experimented with a monkey, and it was like some animal protesters, protester people like came in and accidentally broke him out and killed him. So that's essentially what happened with Mojo Jojo. So he's a hyper intelligent. He's actually a genius level supervillain within the body of a monkey. So he's like a greenish blue monkey. He has like a brain that's in its like big glass shield thing, essentially. Right. And he's like one of the leaders behind the villains, the villains group and everything, and he's constantly teaming up with a lot of the other villains and everything, and it's just so much fun. And he's also, but at the same time, he's also very sensitive, and he's like, there's like times where he's like, "Good job, girls. I can see you guys are growing as human beings." And there's just like random moments where of like that collaboration where he's clearly a good guy, but also a bad guy because he's also a terrorist.
Right.
So it's weird.
Okay. All right. They didn't literally start shooting the film. They didn't just literally start. I swear to God, guys, you can't just keep. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Literally. Filming began in January, and they stopped filming in March. That's 3 months. 3 months. Again, that's not 25% of the freaking movie. That's way more than that, guys. Come on.
A long movie. This is not Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick is not running this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not a 2-year filming process. They're not doing every single scene like 50 times, guys.
You cannot be spoon-fed what the studios tell you. You stop. You got to do your own assessment, your own analysis, your own logic. Put your own logic out there. Studios lie to you all the time just to make you get excited about it. That's how they do it.
It's almost like I get to do some dissecting sometimes, it's crazy. But also, Rocha, I have to say, you are someone that also has been in this, working with Hollywood and everything for quite a while now, obviously. You are a person that also, I don't want to say is sneaky, but you have sources, you chat, you have like a lot of friends that are, that are a part of this world. So I'm sure you get little bits of information here and there. I don't know if you have like an insider when it comes to this project, but you hear things quite often. Yeah,
I do. And the thing is, I can't talk about them most of the time. For example, I have a person who's very, very deep into the Greg Berlanti universe, and only certain things am I allowed to reference or source. But I know so much about what's coming from Berlanti and the CW and what they're doing with all their like the crossover. I knew everybody they were going to announce like 3 months, 4 months before they announced it, but I can only talk about certain things at certain times. I'm not Snyder, I don't go and try to break scoops and, get in trouble with the studios and all that kind of jazz. And maybe that may be a route I go eventually down the road as a separate show for the Outlaw Nation. But right now, I have a lot of friends who work in numerous studios, and they'll tell me things, and only certain things am I allowed to kind of have my own opinion on, or drop as a source possibility, or drop as a thing that's happening, and don't be surprised, blah blah blah. So that's my way of kind of like putting it out there so that people can put it in their minds down the road. And they shot way more than 20%, 25%. I'm just letting you know now. All right, let's move on to Andrew G. He says the Batman looks incredible. Reeves' excitement explaining it during DC Fandom got me pumped. He gets it. The suit is amazing. I love seeing new interpretations of it in comics and film. That is 100% Colin Farrell's Penguin. There is no debate. Done. Well, there isn't, because the makeup designer came out and said that as well. But absolutely, this whole situation is... I think it looks great. And absolutely. Did you like the trailer, Alex? I didn't even ask you. Did you like the trailer? Were you into it? Do you love it? Oh, sorry. Let me ask you that. I got to take a call. Let me put you on solo. How can I put you on solo? Let me take myself.
You know what I love most in the world? Okay, so given my age, Twilight came out at a very specific time in my life, and now Twilight is a horrible film franchise. But the big takeaway, guys, is how much I really love a lot of the actors that are involved. Can't forget Martin Sheen is in it, just saying. But also, Robert Pattinson is, I thought he was fantastic in this trailer, and it almost reminded me of like that like little punching thing at the very end. He's like, "Who are you?" And they try to whack him, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "That's amazing." But it kind of reminded me of, for a split second, do you remember when in Mission Impossible Fallout with Henry Cavill, he had that moment in the bathroom where he was like, and he was just like winning boxer style? I had a flashback where it felt very similar to that. Okay, Michael Sheen, not Martin Sheen, Andrew. You're totally right. Actually, thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. I always get those, not the name. I always get the names confused, but I remember the right person, if that makes sense. Or I have the right face in mind. But yes, so watching that, it made me super excited. Also, the fighting style just looked really cool because Batman is one of these characters. He's a young guy. I think he's supposed to be in his early mid-30s or something along those lines. But the thing is, the man is still human. He has a lot of flaws. He's a lot of things he's working through. So I'm really excited about it, honestly. I'm also really excited about, I'm curious what the Riddler is doing. We didn't really get a good look at him. He's like in the dark. He has some goggles on. And me being me, I love the Batman villains. I just think they're so interesting and weird and cool. Obviously with Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Clayface. Oh my gosh, give me Clayface in any form. I was upset. I loved him from the Harlequin show. It was life. But I really would love to see him in a movie one day, but that's a whole other conversation, guys. But I'm really excited to see, this really, really come out because it looked so cool. And we're going to get more of, Battinson's, him doing a lot of detective work, and we haven't really seen, since, Michael Keaton's Batman, do a lot of actual detective work on screen. So, I would love to see that happen. So guys, what do you guys think? Let me know, who's your favorite villain so far? Is there any villain in particular that you're super excited for? Also, what'd you think of Catwoman? We had our first little quick glimpse of Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. I thought it looked pretty cool. We didn't really see anything as far as her getup. It looked like she was pretty much like wearing a sock with some holes cut out, and somehow it made out to be some pointy ears. So I'm kind of curious to see how that's gonna play out. I do want to go over to the chat again real quickly. J. Scott for real. My dude, just saying, I appreciate you so much. I really do. I'd love to see Bryan Cranston as Freeze. Yo, I'd be so here for that. So here for it. Oh man, Bryan Cranston, just give me all the love. Corey Cameron, do y'all think they're mixing the Riddler and Hush? Oh, that'd be interesting. I can definitely see that. I think that'd be really interesting. Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, like Riddler, he's, I think that's a great combination, honestly. Where was it? I feel like I read it or I saw it somewhere that they're going to be doing, no, it's going to be an animated movie. There you go. Okay, it's going to be an animated movie. They're making an animated movie on the Long Halloween. So sometimes I used to get Hush and Long Halloween mixed up. But I digress. But yeah, Philosophy Cat vs. Bat. Okay. Should that be like the new name of this trailer? I think we need to see something new in the Batman universe. Obviously. Oh, 1 second. You want to see Man-Bat, Robbie Mason? Is it Mason or Meeson? Please let me know. I agree. Oh my gosh, Man-Bat. Okay. Yo, I would love to see that. Man-Bat. It's okay. So Man-Bat is just so weird. He's literally half man, half bat. He's like doing his thing. Yeah, I have to say that. And yes, okay. Parodies. Yes, the Long Halloween animated movie is going to be a 2-part movie. Thank heavens. They're going to include, please, I can't wait to see Calendar Man on screen, as well as, Polka Dot Man. He's so weird. We're going to see a little bit of Zaz, so that's going to be a fun time. Guys, but please ask questions, as questions away, I'm just like hanging out in here, just waiting.
Boom.
Oh, there you go.
Did you pick everything that you're working on?
Huh? No, I did not. I was just answering questions from the chat, talking about the logo, some of the villains we'd really want to see, and also like Hush. We're talking about A Long Halloween, the animated movie coming out.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Respect. Let's answer these Streamlabs real quick. I got to jump on and work on my audition. I got some notes back, so I got to jump on it and make some changes before I go and host on SEN Live. So let's roll through these real quick, and then we'll jump into our thing, and then we're done. Andrew, okay. Ben Rayner says, "Holy Vengeance, love this Batman trailer. R.O.B. Bats looks like he's going to be great. Robert Pattinson Bats, Rob Bats. This was my favorite trailer of Fandom, with WW84 being my least seance favorite. I imagine he means least favorite, and Snyder Cut being my second favorite. So he's saying Wonder Woman 84 was his second favorite, and Snyder Cut being his third favorite. Did you like both of those, the Wonder Woman 84 and the Snyder Cut trailer?
Oh, yeah. I thought all the trailers and teasers and all that good stuff was, I thought it looks pretty awesome. There's no real criticism I could think of, except don't give me any more stuff. Yeah. I don't want any more trailers. Not to mention, and we're going to get another Wonder Woman trailer by the time it eventually comes out, like next year. So it's just like, done. No more. I didn't even want to see Chris Pine in the trailer. I wanted that to be a complete surprise, but obviously that's not going to be the case. Like, no more, dude, no more.
Tushka Productions says, I donate. He says, with my dad jokes, I'm going to make a freaking awesome father someday. Thank you, Rocha, for your continued support, for never insulting me. Oops, sorry, wrong channel. Hashtag. Jay Scotty for real says, which character reveal from James Gunn's The Suicide Squad during DC's Fandom event surprised and or pleased you the most? Any speculation on who the villain might be, given the South American coup d'etat backdrop? Kevin Smith thinks it's Starro. Thoughts? Yeah, what do you think, Alex? What was your favorite one?
Polka Dot Man. It's just like, that, and also King Shark. Oh my gosh, King Shark. I love King Shark. After I saw him, the character King Shark, after I saw him from the Harlequin series, I fell in love with this character. So I started doing some research on his character overall, and I kind of fell in love with him. I thought he was so cool. But seeing him in this, I was like, dude, looks so good. It looks so good. Yeah. And Polka Dot Man. I mean, how weird can you get? Only James Gunn would be the person to be like, yeah, that person that literally attacks people with polka dots. Let's do it. Like, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I love it. Yeah,
it looks a lot of fun. Starro is the rumor, which is awesome, which is a starfish, a crazy starfish. I would, from a crazy universe. So I'm down with Starro. That'd be really fun, totally fit, and it still feels like, I know it's Suicide Squad, but it still would have a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe within it, with James Gunn working on this one. So that could be fun as well. My favorite reveal was the Thinker. I had no idea Peter Capaldi was in this thing. And
you didn't?
I know, like, I didn't know what he was playing. I didn't know he was in this thing. And when they showed him, I lost my damn mind. And just the look of him going like, that kind of thing with everything coming out. I love that. I mean, they're all going to die probably in the first 20 minutes. Yeah. But I love the fact that you got a little Capaldi in here playing the Thinker. That's going to be funny. I mean, Cena was great, looking great as a Homelander as well. But the Thinker is the one that got, or the other Gunn, Sean Gunn as Weasel. That was funny as hell as well. So all of them were great for sure. All right, let's see. That's all the Streamlabs we got here. I do got to wrap up now, unfortunately, but I want to get into one last thing, Alex, and that is, what do you got going on in your world, girl?
Yeah, I have not seen Raising Arizona, so I'm going to be watching that today.
Nice.
So that's going to be a fun time. We're going to be covering that on Cinema Bias tomorrow. So please come hang out on Videos Drew's channel starting at 10 p.m. So it's going to be a real fun time, I guarantee it. And also on Wednesday, we're going to have a Den-themed Schmobe, and with Kate Mulligan as my co-host. It's going to be a really fun time. We're actually having a retired competitor come back as our guest judge. So it's going to be really cool. But yeah, please come hang out with us. I'm part of the Call to Action podcast group here on YouTube and everywhere podcasts are found. So please definitely do us a favor and check us out.
There you go. One last news story. We have it on the thumbnail, so I talk about it. Jason Blum and John Carpenter confirmed that they are working on a sequel, on a reboot of The Thing. I don't know if you know the character of The Thing in The Thing, but now that name is seared into my brain for the rest of my life. But the character that Kurt Russell plays in The Thing.
Wait, are they not? Wait, I thought they were doing a reboot of Big Man Little China.
No. First of all, it's Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble. I don't know. I've never seen the movie.
If you're gonna take a shot, be correct.
I don't know. I've never seen the movie.
Second of all, they are doing it. Variety has confirmed this. The project is still in early stages, and no other details have been hammered out. But this Carpenter revealed it in a Q&A that he had talked with Blumhouse chief Jason Blum. It's Jason Blum, not Jason Bloom, about it. And he said, I don't know about that, but we've talked about it. I think he's going to be working on The Thing, rebooting The Thing. I'm involved with that maybe down the road. And he declined to reveal whether it was a prequel, a sequel, or a remake. So we don't know what it's going to be, because the first film came out in 1951. It's The Thing from Another World. Then, of course, in 2011, we had the prequel, which was the Mary Elizabeth Winston and Joel Edgerton one. So, and Carpenter wasn't involved in that one. So if he's involved in this one, I imagine it might be a reboot of the Kurt Russell thing. And why not? I mean, nowadays with the COVID and everything, that's essentially the thing coming after us, because we don't know who has it and who can pass it on to other people and possibly kill them. So I think it makes total and absolute sense. So I'm looking forward to that. Have you seen The Thing yet? Have you seen The Thing yet?
No, I have not. To be honest, I'm pulling a Christian right. I never seen the movie, but that movie in particular, it's I know everything about it. I know all like the big stuff, with the dog and the whole. I've seen it, seen all the little things with it, but it's a very symbolic movie as well.
Yeah.
Especially right now, we're talking about, with the pandemic, the virus, who has it, who doesn't, who's more likely to have it, we're trying to figure out, but you can't see it, obviously. So you can make a lot of things and how it can transfer to today, versus someone like where you're constantly thinking like, who is this person? We don't know. You can really kind of transfer a lot of that thought process, that mindset, that paranoia from this movie into the world of today. So easily transferable. Not surprised that they greenlit this one.
I don't disagree with you at all. Fred Tastic 314 says, "Go get me a baby, ha! They got more than they can handle." And he says, "Enjoy the movie." That's a Raising Arizona reference. So there you go.
Oh,
yeah. Just wait till you see it.
I'll take your word for it. I love me some Nicolas Cage. So yeah.
By the way, The Thing and Tootsie both came out in 1982.
That's true.
That I need to study 1982 movies. All right. That's it. Please follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. Follow Alex right there at @real_Alex Mack. Don't forget, Game Time was yesterday. Me and Winston and Jay Washington have a little fun talking sports. That's up there for you to listen to. Another thing that we dropped, or that I dropped recently, was over the weekend. I had a fantastic interview with Melora Walters. She is in the new Western horror film, The Pale Door, that is out for people to get on demand and digital. We talked a lot about her career for like an hour, about working with Paul Thomas Anderson, because she was in Magnolia, she was in Boogie Nights, she was in a number of Hard Eight. She was a cameo in The Master. She was also in Venom doing a cameo, but she's done a bunch of other films as well and TV shows. And she's an artist. She's a painter. So we spoke about how painting has been like something that she has come back to her whole life. And we spoke about her not struggle with depression, but her investigation and exploration of depression in other people. So her films that she's writing and directing now kind of explore that, because she is like one of these people that feels like, why can't I shake them out of it? So for her, it's an exploration. And I don't think she suffers from it. She just explores it and tries to understand it. So it's a very nice conversation with her. If you've ever seen her in anything, trust me, watch that one or listen to that one. It's a lot of fun sitting down with her. She's fantastic. All right. That's it for me. Thank you all so much. And that's it. Alex Shashek, any last things, or shall we roll?
Wear a mask. Inspired by The Thing. Wear a mask, guys.
Yeah, wear a mask. There you go. And I'll be on SEN Live this morning in about 23 minutes if I get everything done. All right. Much love to you all. We'll talk to you soon. Take care and have a great rest of your Tuesday. And we'll see you again for another live episode of The Mornings with the Outlaw on Thursday morning. Be well.
Be safe.